It felt like one of those, those huge waves that come out of nowhere.
Totally.
It was a tariff shock, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The S&P 500, for example, plunged by, let me see, 9.3%.
Ooh.
The Nasdaq, which is all about tech,
Uh-huh.
that one took an even bigger hit, dropped by 10%. And the Dow Jones, that wasn't far behind. It fell by 7.9%. But what was really interesting, I think, was the Russell 2000, that index that follows those smaller companies.
Mm-hmm.
That officially entered what we call a bear market, meaning it's down more than 20% from its high point, which, by the way, was just last week. He admitted that things could get rough, that we might be looking at, as he put it, higher inflation and slower growth. And on top of that, there were reports about prices going up for materials and stuff, and they directly tied that to the tariffs kicking in. Oil prices just totally crashed, down to $62 a barrel.
Wow.
That's the lowest it's been since, April of 2021. And what's really coming back now is this fear of stagflation, which is basically, slow economic growth mixed with high inflation.
The dreaded stagflation. Yeah, that's like the nightmare scenario.
It is, a real headache for policymakers. Unemployment across the Eurozone, that dropped to a record low of 6.1%,
Wow.
which means the job market over there is still pretty strong, even with all this other stuff going on.
So the UK is getting hit from both sides, international trade problems and their own policy changes messing with a key sector like housing. It's like trying to steer a ship through a hurricane while someone's also messing with the engine.
Part of that was due to the new 24% tariff the U.S. slapped on Japanese goods, which is on top of the 25% they already had on cars. Oh, they hit back and hard. What's really interesting is their financial markets were actually closed on Friday for the Qingming Festival holiday. Beijing announced a whopping 34% tariff on everything coming in from the U.S.
Whoa.
starting April 10th. And that's not all. They also put restrictions on exporting rare earth minerals.
China's quick and powerful response shows just how serious this trade conflict is and that they're not backing down.
That's $1 million question, right? Right now, it's way harder to predict what's going to happen with economic growth, inflation, and what central banks around the world are going to do. But the big one, the one everyone's going to be glued to, is the U.S. Consumer Price Index, the CPI. That's the key inflation indicator, and after all this tariff stuff, it's more important than ever. And what's really striking is just how fast this all happened. It was like a virus spreading through the global economy. This past week was a wake-up call, a reminder that the global economy is constantly changing. And if you want to navigate the challenges and opportunities out there, you've got to understand those changes.